So there is one webtoon that I've been reading for years now and has just been getting better and better as it goes on. It's a pretty popular series known as Unordinary. This is a really incredible story with so many great themes that it talks about. We are slowly seeing the culmination of everything coming together in the story as well as it making the comic more entertaining. I can't wait to see where this story will go from here, but for now we just have to wait and see. So let me tell you all the reasons why I love this webtoon and why I think everybody should give it a chance because it's incredible. So the first theme that I want to talk about is one that I talk about often in my videos, friendship. Unordinary has a very cool way of displaying friendship, especially with its main character John. At the beginning of the story, he is pretty much a loner with only one friend, and because at the beginning his standing isn't very high, he doesn't make any new friends. Then something happens that I won't spoil because it's a pretty big thing, but once it happens, he slowly starts to win people over. That comes after his development, after he was super aggressive. He has been able to make some new friends and allies, and they are all fighting to help people because the world they lived in is messed up. I just really like how they make it so that friends aren't just handed to John, and especially after everything he's done, he has to really work hard to make friends, so that way he can get some help. Seeing this all play out from the beginning is great, and it's one of the biggest things I love about this story. In the world of Unordinary, corruption runs rampant in the government. We are constantly seeing how evil the government is in this world. They get away with a lot. They allow terrible things to happen constantly, and it is just run by terrible people. This leads to a lot of oppression of the people. We see people with weaker abilities, and especially those without abilities, get beat up and killed with no repercussions from the criminals. The government doesn't just let it happen, they actively participate in it and make it worse by funding groups who support this behavior. This forces some good people to have to fight and be labeled as criminals when they are really just standing up for what's right. Seeing the government be the main driving force for this world really does make the story interesting, especially seeing where this is headed to. So Unordinary has a lot of fighting in it, and that makes sense because of the type of story that it is. The story of Unordinary is all about fighting to break a broken system. We are constantly seeing the characters fight for their ideals, and we see them continuously improve and get stronger. All of the main characters want to change this messed up system in this world. But what's so cool about it is that they take different approaches to it. Some become vigilantes and try to change the world from the outside, and others join the evil and try to change it from the inside. And then there's another organization who is also not good, but they are also fighting to change this world as well, which is something else that is cool. Just because everyone is fighting for the same common goal doesn't mean that they are necessarily good people. Some are blissfully ignorant and are slowly coming around to the truth of the problems, but that's not so bad. But one of the organizations fighting to save the government is just as bad as the government themselves, just in different ways. And then we even have some of the main characters being more morally gray individuals, but I'll talk about that more as I talk about the characters later. It is so cool to see the power system at work in this series as well. It is such a cool power system to see. There are so many cool and unique powers in this world, and people use their abilities in really cool and interesting ways. I like how one of the strongest characters we have seen in the entire story so far has an ability that is just a shield. It is pretty cool to see how they are able to show a power not usually associated with strength and be used as one of the strongest characters in the story. The thing that really does kind of suck about the power system is the rankings. No matter how efficient you are at using your ability or how unique your ability is, if it is a lower rank than another ability, then you will just never be stronger than the person with that stronger ability. I think it would have been cool to see weaker characters beating up stronger ranks slightly higher than them by being super smart and coming up with good strategies, which we do see, but only really in group fights where the numbers don't really matter as much because you're in a group. But the combat is one of the best aspects of Unordinary and is what makes it so much fun. The character writing in this comic is really incredible. Like, I mean that genuinely. There are so many main characters and every one of them has such an incredible story arc that makes you love them all. Some of them take paths that you didn't initially expect either, which just makes it way cooler. John especially is an incredible character. Being the main character he should be, but his writing is so good. He flips on a dime and honestly it is pretty much impossible to know where his character is going to go. John is already a completely different person than what he was at the beginning of the story. We thought he was a hard-headed weak guy who just didn't know how to stop trying to fight back, but then it gets revealed that, oh no, he is actually one of the strongest people alive with one of the most broken abilities in the series, which isn't too surprising, but John's unpredictability is what makes him such a good character. Seravina is the heroine of the story and is the only other character on John's level we have seen. By power rankings alone, she is technically stronger, but she is also one of the only people who can keep John in check. She has been going through her own character arc as well. She has always been so strong, so she never knew what it was like to live a life of those who aren't so strong. But she has been forced to live that life now, and it has made her very sympathetic to the more normal people, and that has made her want to help as much as she can. She is someone who has had to do some pretty shady things in order to get her powers back, so that way she can actually help in battle. She still, as of this point in the story, hasn't gotten her full powers back yet, but she is already busted as hell. She's an extremely smart woman who understands what her position as one of the strongest truly means now that she has experienced the other side. Seeing her growth has been awesome, and I can't wait to see where her character goes from here. One of my favorite characters in this series is Arlo, and that is because he has one of the most complicated character arcs in the entire story. He starts off the story as this arrogant asshole who beats people up and uses his authority for bad because he knows nobody can stop him. He ignores all the problems going on around him and actively harms the school's reputation when he is supposed to represent the school. But Arlo now, although he is still a long way to go, has come incredibly far. He understands that he used to be an asshole and has worked on himself a lot. He can still be arrogant sometimes, but that is mostly with John, who is now on pretty good terms with, which is pretty cool to see because John was the one who Arlo picked on the most in the beginning of the series. Arlo's story arc is all about learning to accept the truth around him and to not run away from things that are obvious. He still has some work to do on that front when it comes to his belief in the government, but when he does come around, he is going to be a great inside guy to have to relay information to everybody. The character writing for Arlo is so good that it is hard to hate him after a certain point. Unordinary has so many characters that I could talk forever about them. There are still technically 3 more main characters that I haven't even brought up, and they have had some nice development as well, each overcoming a weakness they all had and have become way better and stronger people. It's incredible how much great character writing can elevate a story, but Unordinary is a great example of how that is the case. Unordinary is such an incredible series that I recommend everybody give it a read. It is quite long, but once you get into it, you won't want to put it down because it is that incredible. It has so many surprises up its sleeve that even now I have no idea where the story is really going in the immediate future, but that's what makes it so great. Alright, that was the video. If you liked it, maybe think about dropping a like, and subscribing as well. It helps out a ton. If you do decide to join the community, then I guess I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!